this, I've come to find out what many military members wish they knew and what I wish I knew before I PCS'd here. My team and I specialize in helping military members purchase homes here. We've helped close to 100 families in just the last 2 years buy a house here while they were all PCSing from out of state. So if you just found out you're PCSing here, we'd love to help you purchase a home. I PCS'd here in 2018 and I've been here ever since. So I created a survey that I posted on multiple Davis-Monthan and Tucson pages. I've done the research for you so you can learn from our lessons. Let's jump right into what we wish we knew before PCSing to DM. I'm Garced. Welcome back to the Living in Tucson channel. I'm a realtor with eXp Realty, and my team and I would love to help you buy or sell in Tucson, Arizona. Now, the first thing I wish I knew were the gates and that gate hours around Davis-Monthan. We have 3 gates, and only one of them is a 24-hour gate. 2 of the gates are on the north side, and 1 gate is on the south side. If you want to plug in the address for the 24-hour gate, Davis-Monthan Visitor Center, and that will take you right to the 24-hour gate, which we call Craycroft Gate because it's on Craycroft Road. If you follow that gate all the way down, you'll be passing by the BX, the commissary, the gas station, and it ends all the way south at the flight line. The second gate is Swan Gate, and it's off of Swan Road, and it's also on the north side, but it's more northwest. And Swan Gate is open from 6 to 6, and that gate is where a lot of the large vehicles go in the mornings, so it's usually slower to go onto base using that gate. It's worth just driving 2 more blocks east to go to Craycroft. The last gate is 29 Bravo, and that's the only gate on the south side that we have, and the hours there are terrible. When I used to live south of base, I've lived in 8 different locations in Tucson. 29 Bravo was never open early in the mornings, like when I used to go to the gym before work on base, so I would have to drive all the way around Davis-Monthan and enter from the north side. And 29 Bravo closes early, and it usually closes around lunch. So pretty much if it's open, go ahead and buy a lottery ticket because it is your day. However, I know a lot of people that work on the flight line usually use that gate to leave work, but not so much to go into work from. So those are the 3 gates. While we're on base, let's talk gyms. There are 2 gyms on base. One is called Benko, which has more cardio equipment. It's 2 stories, has an upstairs indoor track and a pool with very specific hours, and saunas in each of the downstairs bathrooms that have been under renovation since the land before time, and it has a basketball court there. The other gym is called Hefner, and it's more of like a CrossFit style gym with cardio equipment. It's also 2 stories. You can get 24-hour access to either of the gyms as long as you register your CAC with them between the normal working hours. Otherwise, it's open 6 to 6. Also, right next to Benko, there's like a health center where you can get free bod pod testing and in-body assessments for body fat percentage and stuff for free. Let's talk golf courses. Just kidding. There are no golf courses. Keep dreaming. Environment. You will probably get bloody noses out here for your first couple of days, or maybe just have bloody boogers. That's just the initiation phase. Welcome to Tucson. You also might develop allergies while you're out here, or even asthma, like I did. You might even end up having to get allergy shots. But Davis-Monthan is good at off-base referrals for the most part, and there are at least 3 allergists that I know of in town that administer allergy shots. If you have a family, what many people recommend is getting that plan where your spouse and your family can be seen by providers off-base. Also, going back to the bloody noses, you'll probably want to invest in a humidifier to help out with that. And there are no emergency services at the medical center on base. It used to be a hospital, but that was way back in the 90s. And since we're talking about the environment, Tucson, in case you didn't know, is a huge outdoorsy town. There are miles and miles of hiking trails, bicycle trails, all over the town. I'll link below to the trail maps. All of the resources that I mentioned from here on out will be linked below in the description. If you are a biker, you'll hear of the Loop, which is 131 miles of biking trails without any cars there for any interruptions. We even have the annual Tour de Tucson in the fall that will stop all car traffic, especially if you end up living in the Vail area. And a random fact is, it is actually a felony crime to cut down a saguaro cactus. That can land you up to 25 years in prison. So if you need to cut it down, call the city, get a permit. Scorpions. Scorpions will get in your shoes, so shake your shoes out before you put them on, and sign up for monthly or quarterly pest control. It'll be like $50 a month. It's worth it. But if you live a little bit more inner city, then you might not need it. Also, for some reason, I thought scorpions were like bees, where if they sting you once, they'll die. I don't know why I thought that, but it turns out that those suckers can keep on living after they sting you, and they can sting you over and over and over again. So that's another reason why to get rid of the carpet in your house or purchase a house without carpet, because for some reason in Tucson, carpet is the same color as scorpions. The next couple are going to be about vehicles. Car registrations are so expensive here. It will cost you easily over $400. Usually I hear of it being closer to $800 or $900. Meanwhile, in California, where I PCS'd here from, it was half of the price. The active duty member has to be on the title for all vehicles, and it's a pain to get the form signed with the DMV or the MVD here as we call it, because they change their requirements based off who you talk to. But overall, you should just have to bring your 2 LESs, show your military ID, have a form, get the discount. However, if you've deployed within the last 12 months, go to the link below and download the special military exemption form, and that will help you register your car in Arizona for free. All you have to pay for is taxes, which will be just a couple of bucks. Otherwise, I think it's strange that if you change your state of residency to Arizona, you then have to pay more to register your car here. This should go without saying, but you'll thank yourself if you have remote start on your car, so that way you can start your car from inside the house to cool it down in the summer. Otherwise, at least try to get a garage. Full windshield coverage is a must, because every time you drive to Phoenix or on I-10, a semi will catapult a tiny little pebble into your windshield and crack it, no matter what type of vehicle you're driving. So your insurance should have all glass coverage. Plus, there are a ton of vehicle break-ins in Tucson, so that does also stress the importance of having a garage and using it to store your vehicles in. A pro tip is to keep your vehicle insurance deductible low, which is not normally what I would suggest, but mine was at $1,000, and that hurt. On average, my wife and I have had to replace our windshields multiple times since we've lived here, and that's very common amongst others that have also lived here in Tucson. Some people in some Facebook groups have stated they needed to change their windshield every year. Car insurance. I moved from California to Tucson and my insurance went up. I was driving at the time a 3-year-old Honda Civic. Some of my friends' insurance doubled, so be prepared for that. Being that you're PCSing to Davis-Monthan, which has Southcom, depending on your AFSC, you might have a lot of deployments or TDYs, so keep in mind that you can reach out to your car insurance and put your car insurance on hold while you're not using it, or you can rent out your car on Turo while you're gone. Or you can rent out a room in your house for others to live in, or rent out space in your house for people to store their stuff in. Or you can rent out your pool in your backyard and swimly. Basically what I'm saying is there are so many ways to keep your cost of living low here. And last topic about vehicles specifically, it actually does get cold here in the winters, which might surprise you. I've lived here since 2018, and every year since I've been here, it's hailed and snowed. Another reason to have at least a carport. Tucson is a military-friendly town, and a lot of restaurants and shops will offer military discounts, as well as the zoo and the outlet mall near I-10. And it's fine to walk around in uniform. People ask me this all the time, probably because I was OSI, but yes, that's totally fine. If you're looking for the list of establishments that military members cannot go to, just call the OSI unit since it's updated every year. That is no longer my job. Don't bring your lawnmower. You won't need it. There's no grass. The on-base bowling alley mozzarella sticks will still be cold and frozen in the middle. Now let's talk about some good stuff, yeah? There is a lot to do around Tucson. And fun fact, Tucson is the astronomy capital of the world. So if you're into stargazing, Tucson is an amazing city, especially if you live on the outskirts of town where there are fewer lights. On a clear night, if you stare long enough, you will see a shooting star. But you can also just drive up to the top of Mount Lemmon, which is on the northeast side of town, bring your blanket, spend a couple of hours there watching some shooting stars. Being originally from New York, I didn't even know what a star was, so this is awesome. And if you want to take it to the next level, you can book with Mount Lemmon SkyCenter, which works with the University of Arizona, and they offer some like 5-hour observation there where supposedly you can take things from the next level. It costs about $100 a person. Link is below. Tucson is also a really big foodie and artsy town. There are over 700 restaurants. It was ranked number 35 in foodie cities of the entire nation. Overall, if a restaurant looks like a hole in the wall, it's probably good and it's probably cheaper. So go. Also, one of the most iconic restaurants in town, El Charro, supposedly created the chimichanga. If it looks brand new, my personal opinion is that it's probably overpriced and it's probably overhyped, and the service won't be as good. And I say this having been a server. The service here in general, not always the best. There is a huge art community, and the zoo and the botanical gardens and the Sonora Museum are highly recommended. There are definitely a lot of activities for you and your family. Next up, I want to talk about traffic. It ain't so bad here. The biggest annoyance is if you live on the east side or anywhere north, pretty much far from I-10, since we only have one highway. It will take you forever to get to the west side because you will have to hit every single red light. But other than that, we don't have traffic. So if you're looking to travel north or south a lot and you live either central or north or east, it could take you 45 minutes just to get to the highway and then start leaving Tucson. Kind of annoying. I did include that in my video up here titled 7 Reasons Not to Move to Tucson, Arizona. Tucson is huge and super spread out, and Tucson also has trailing green arrow lights where if you're at an intersection and you're wanting to turn left and the opposite direction is coming, opposite direction traffic will go first, their lights will turn red and then your green arrow light will come on so you could turn left. Never go as soon as the green arrow lights up. Cars will still fly through those red lights. They don't give a crap. That is how a lot of accidents occur here in Tucson. Not every intersection has a trailing green arrow, so you kind of just have to know which ones they are at which intersections. Is kind of like a fun little game we play here. So don't be the person that creeps out into the intersection thinking you're gonna get a trailing green. At that point, you might just get stuck. And while we're on the topic of intersections, you will notice that there is a lot of panhandling in Tucson. Sometimes there will be signs up that encourage you to donate to nonprofit as opposed to donating to the panhandlers themselves. It's sad to see because a lot of times they have dogs or puppies with them and they're just like melting away in the heat. And U-turns are allowed here, so that's cool. Having been born and raised in New York, I know that the New York, New Jersey areas rarely allow U-turns. Now, ITT on base does give some pretty good discounts to do stuff in San Diego, which is about 5.5 hours away, Disneyland in California, and the outdoor rec allows you to rent RVs, paddleboards, snow equipment if you wanted to go up to Flagstaff or Sedona. If this has been at all helpful to you so far and you're PCSing to Davis-Monthan, my realtor team and I would love to help you purchase a house here. Feel free to shoot me a text to the number on the screen, or if you want to book a call directly, I will see you with my teammate. My Calendly link is below. Carrying on. Casinos. Gambling is legal here, and there are a few big casinos here, usually out west and south, like Valencia West and Sahuarita. Wineries. You can get to quite a few amount of wineries within a 2-hour radius of Tucson. A lot of them are down south. Sonoran Wine, for example, won an international contest in 2023, I believe, for their red blends. Arizona is a constitutional carry state and is considered a castle doctrine state, meaning you do not need to retreat to stand your ground. However, of course, I am not an attorney. This is not legal advice. So just overall, there are some states where if someone breaks into your house, you have a duty to retreat, but not in this state. However, that's not to say that you won't face any legal troubles. Consult an attorney. It's also very common to see people doing their homework at a local coffee shop or Starbucks just packing heat. And there are a ton of outdoor shooting ranges. Motorcycles. Arizona is ranked in the top 10 cities of motorcycle deaths in the nation. It comes in at number 9. Tucson drivers are really reckless. There are a lot of gravelly areas to slip on. I've personally witnessed the DMV give an older person their driver's license even after she failed her vision test twice, and she demanded to speak to a manager who ended up coaching her through the vision test to get her to shut up, and she was given her license. But even then, so many times where trucks and semis just don't see the bikers, they start merging into the lane. Crazy sedan drivers will cut people off. They don't really care about motorcyclists here. And in 2022, lane splitting or lane sharing became legal here. So if you're a biker, there is a Davis-Monthan club. My wife used to be part of it, and they usually take scenic routes, group rides out west or down to Tombstone, and it's typically more safer in a group. Going back to the base, they do shut down in and out traffic pretty often for missing kids. And it's usually like around 5 p.m. when you're trying to leave the base. And my goodness, the amount of missing dogs, don't even get me started. It's as if the dogs are all friends and they're all trying to run away from home together because there are always posts about missing dogs. Next up, some people that I surveyed in this video suggested that because it's just so hot out in the summer to pick up an indoor hobby, perhaps YouTubing, or perhaps getting your real estate license. If you have your real estate license, or if you're interested in getting your real estate license and joining an amazing crew that does a lot of transactions, message me. Let's talk. It also might benefit you to watch this video, which is 7 reasons why I think every single military member needs their real estate license. But if you'd rather be outside than inside, you might want to do your outdoor activities around 5 in the morning when it's only 90 degrees. The flood areas. Like in another video I made, 7 reasons not to move to Tucson, Arizona, there will be times that you cannot get home, even though your house might not flood, you might be in the path of water coming down, so much so that your sedan can't get across it. I'm not an insurance agent, so call your insurance company and have them run you a quote for a home that you're interested in before you place an offer. I've never lived on base by choice because I prefer having my BAH since I invest in real estate, and that's how I was able to separate from the Air Force as a millionaire by purchasing properties after 10 years of being in the military. But the on-base housing does not seem to be too bad. There are a couple of times where I've seen people complain about power outages, but a pro of living on base is that during the hot summer months when it's 110 out, you can crank up the AC all the way up without worrying about the power bill because you're living on base and it's free. Quotes here because you're paying for it with your BAH, but whatever. With some bases, you'll get a credit back if you don't use that full allotted amount for utilities, but very rarely do people here at DM get any portion of their utility bills refunded back to them. The person that told me this actually said that even though he loves the ability to crank up the AC, he still wishes he had purchased or rented and lived off base. There are Facebook groups for you to feel that sense of community. Join the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base families, the Davis-Monthan spouses if you're a spouse like I am now. There are always people posting about lost puppies and people looking for friends, people wanting to play pickleball together, etc. Pretty much any hobby you have, there's probably a Tucson Facebook group for it. Solar panels. Arizona is really big on solar, whether it's a lease or a loan. So if you're looking to purchase a home, there is a chance it will have solar there. And most of the time, it's not paid off. So not only will you have to qualify to purchase the house and think about the utilities and extra expenses like pest control, weed, cable, whatever, you'll also have to qualify to transfer the solar loan into your name and pay that loan monthly. It's a hassle. It will take longer to close on a house because of that, but some people love their solar panels. Every solar company is different, so even though your electric bill will be lower in the summer, instead of a typical electrical bill of $300, you will instead be paying an amount monthly for the lease or the loan. If you buy a house that does not have solar and you install it during your time there, just keep in mind that it will take a little bit longer to sell if you plan on selling it when you PCS out of DM. And a lot of potential buyers will be turned off from even viewing your house because people usually want to search for their own solar company. They don't want to take on someone else's loan. I would only suggest getting solar if you plan on keeping that house for a long time or if you plan on paying off that 30-year solar loan. If you are a big golfer, you're gonna love Tucson. There are golf courses like every 3 miles, it feels like. You have to go really early in the morning though, like 6 a.m. if you don't want to play in the scorching heat. If you're new at golf or just go for fun like me, then I suggest you go in the scorching heat because at least you won't be holding up traffic and having people wait for you. Not so many people will be behind you in the middle of the day. People say golfing is relaxing, but no matter how many times I let people in front of me, there's always someone else right after that. I find it very stressful. If you're gonna bring donuts as the new person in the office, then you have to go to Amy's Donuts. Everyone knows that Amy's Donuts are the best. Lastly, don't take Tucson for granted. There are way worse places to be. Enjoy your time while you're here. That's everything that we wish we knew. Again, this is Garced, realtor with eXp Realty. We would love the chance to help you buy your home here. Our phone number is on the screen, so give us a call, give us a text, or if you'd like to book a call directly, my Calendly link is below. We look forward to helping you. Till next time.